We are getting set up live on Facebook, so welcome along. As usual, just going to check online just to make sure I am online. Excelente! I do believe we are live, so welcome along. If you are watching, guys, if you're watching, first of all, I want to apologize about this and the sound of my voice. I am completely clogged up. I've been feeling like a piece of turd for like the last week. So do bear with me as I provide you as much value as I possibly can, even on my deathbed. So if you're watching this live, please say hello, give me a wave. As always, I want to know if you're watching live and if you're watching replay. So if you're watching replay, just type in replay. So I know you've been by and you have watched this. So I can't tell you off for doing these things. So stay tuned, guys, because I'm going to give you I'm going to give you 5 big ones, right? Big things. And then I'm going to give you 6 secret ones, right? 6 secret reasons and 5 big reasons. So stay with me, because everything you think you're doing right may be completely wrong. So I've got 5 big mistakes and 6 big marketing myths that the industry have been pushing you to do. Now, between these, you are bound to be succumbing to the wrong habits and actually perpetuating your own weight gain, even when you've been led to believe that it's not your fault. So stick around, because I've got those 6 top secrets that you're probably already doing. So number 1, we are going to address the lack of nutritional balance. When you go in for a diet, usually a diet is restricting one or many things. Now, the problem with your diet lacking in a specific food or food group, you are likely lacking in essential nutrients like vitamins, minerals, proteins, and healthy fats. And that can negatively impact your overall health and energy levels, right? So a diet that is heavily reliant on processed foods, sugary snacks, or fast food may not provide the necessary nutrients your body needs to function optimally. Therefore, if your diet is lacking in essential nutrients like those vitamins, minerals, proteins, and fats, it can negatively impact your overall health and energy levels, right? So, like I said, with this, bearing in mind, I've just said the same fucking thing twice. I've literally just said the same thing twice. Wow, what an absolute twat. So what I mean by this, saying it twice, what I mean by this is that the problem with your energy levels lacking, and we've talked about your energy levels lacking before in many training videos, is that you then tend to default to foods, habits, and behaviors that really are not supportive of your long-term goals. So what I mean by that is generally you'll just reach for foods that are like a grab ass, like I just need to grab that before I go out the door, or processed foods to pick you up, or high sugar and fat content, because the body is craving something now, right? It needs a spike. So it needs a spike in energy levels or fats to function well. So if we are lacking in a nutritional balance, then your body is craving these foods, it's going to lack the ability to function optimally, and therefore will basically add to your weight and also store existing weight very easily. Okay, we need an optimally functioning body to be able to lose weight appropriately. Next big point is excessive calorie intake. So consuming more calories than your body requires can lead to weight gain, and it can hinder your progress towards weight loss or future goals. Okay, even if you eat healthy foods, overeating can still lead to unwanted weight gain and slow down your progress. Now, I always talk about living life on a whole food, plant-based, and how easy it is to naturally lose weight. This is very true. But when we're talking about plant-based, it is still very easy to eat excess calories because although that the foods may be plant-based, they're not whole foods plant-based. Now, on a whole foods plant-based, the only time you're probably going to eat calories in excess if you're really struggling to feel satiated, which means that you've probably not addressed some emotional and mental issues. But also if you're eating plant-based junk food, so still like chocolates, chocolate bars, crisps, and all that lot, they might be plant-based, but they're not whole foods plant-based. So you can still consume an excess amount of calories. Also nut butters, so an excess of nuts, peanut butter, almond butter, cashew butter, even tahini, they are healthy, good fats. We do need them. However, if you are eating maybe 4 tablespoons on your bagel, I'm looking at me. If you're eating an excess of that, it is going to be easy to eat an excess of calories. Okay, so you just still got to make sure that you're eating the right thing. So poor meal timing. Okay, this is another huge one, right? Another unsuspecting one. So the timing of your meals can actually influence your metabolism, your energy levels, and your overall performance. So skipping meals or eating irregularly can actually disrupt your body's natural rhythm. And this leads to fluctuations in the blood sugar levels, decreased focus, decreased physical performance. So the timing of your meals can really influence that, right? So I want you to be extremely careful with using fasting. Now, some people really love fasting. I know there's someone in here, I'm not going to mention her name, but if she watches this, she's probably going to say it's me. And there's a lady in this group that loves fasting. Okay, there's probably actually a few of you guys. You love fasting, and that is okay if you're going in the right way. If your weight is going in the right way. Right? If you're fasting and you're still not losing weight and you're wondering why you're not losing weight and you're doing it all properly and you're eating healthily in between, there is a possibility that the meal timing or the skipping of meals or the fluctuation in the timings is actually having a negative effect on your overall weight. What happens is your body actually goes into starvation mode because it doesn't know when it's going to get its next meal. And when it goes into starvation mode, it goes into panic mode and it goes into storage mode again. So your body is storing, holding on to this excess weight, wondering when the next meal is going to come. Okay, so this is really going to disrupt your body's natural rhythms. And it's going to, like I said, it's going to lead to the fluctuations in the blood sugar levels, decrease in focus, decrease in physical performance, which is overall and in turn going to end up making you either store or gain weight, not helping you to lose it. So, not drinking enough water. Not drinking enough water can actually impact your overall well-being, and it can hinder your athletic performance immensely. Dehydration can lead to reduced endurance, impaired cognitive function. Now, I know that when I haven't drunk any water, my brain is so scatty and all over the place. You're probably thinking, oh, you're scatty anyway. But it really is. It can lead to muscle cramps, preventing you from achieving your best physical activities. What a lack of hydration also will push for as well is a lack of bowel movement. So it's really difficult, especially if you're increasing your fiber intake by going whole foods, plant-based, or even just plant-based. You're increasing your fiber intake and you really need water to help flush it out. So you might even notice constipation, cramps, IBS if you're not drinking enough water. Okay, and all of that is, of course, going to count towards not losing and gaining weight. So if you're really stuck in that maintenance level and you're not drinking much water, yes, when you drink more water, your body stores onto it. So it's actually quite difficult to tell the difference between weight loss or fat gain and water weight gain, which is why I always say to my clients, it's really important to remove the thought processes. Sorry, got really itchy nose. why it's really important to remove the thought processes when you stand on the scale, because we're not always going to measure necessarily fat or weight increase. We're also looking at hydration, the amount of water that your body is storing, the food that your body may still be storing from the night before, all of the above, right? So lack of hydration can also actually lead to maintenance or increase in weight. Okay, so just be careful, be mindful, make sure you're staying hydrated, especially if you're sick like me. What I've done is I make sure that I get my fluids in by pouring half hot water and half cold water. I do this all the way through winter, and there's a good hunk of lemon and ginger in there as well to increase my metabolism, my antioxidants, my immunity, and hopefully fend off this cold. So number 5 here, guys, inadequate macronutrient distribution. Okay, now when you're dieting, again, you're cutting out huge food groups, a lot of food in general. Maybe you're cutting out calories, maybe you're only eating one thing, right? So the distribution of macronutrients, and what I mean by these are the categories of food which you need in large amounts, so carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, large amount compared to micronutrients where you need them in smaller amounts. In your diet is actually really crucial for achieving specific fitness goals and weight goals. So for example, if you're gauging in maybe some intense physical activity, maybe you're doing some gym classes and you're not consuming enough of these foods, your energy levels and performance during workouts are going to suffer. Your energy levels are going to drop. You're going to start craving more food, more junk food to replace the nutrients. And that is when it becomes really difficult, because you're there thinking, I exercised today, I done loads, I can have another piece of bread. Or what's one more tablespoon of peanut butter? Well, actually, you maybe need more good calories, but you don't need that much fat or that many calories from just that one bite of food. Is this making sense? If it is, pop in a yes. If not, pop in a no. On the other hand, if you're not getting enough protein, for example, that will hinder muscle recovery, muscle growth. It's going to make you stay exactly the way you are. Okay. So just be extremely mindful when we're thinking about our macronutrient distribution. If this is something that you're not entirely sure about, if it's new to you, if you don't know what macronutrients are or a breakdown of what they are, let me know in this video, because I can redirect you to many of the training videos that I've done here, which actually does a thorough breakdown of everything that you need on your plate for a varied diet. And the reason why we have varied diet is because when we have the variety, when we have a combination of grains, proteins, so when we have a combination of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates with green vegetables, colored vegetables, healthy fats, grains, legumes, pulses, when we get all of those, we get that variety. When we get the variety, we're getting as many whole foods, nutrients, micro and macro in as possible, which is going to assist with weight loss. Okay, it's going to get you out of the weight maintenance and into the loss, because your body's not starving itself, it's not depleting it of its a specific micro or macronutrient where your body goes, shit, what's going on? Now, just while we're here, I really want to address the keto diet. I'm really sorry about Mrs. Snotsy McGee over here today. I'm really sorry. So while we're here, I would really like to address the keto diet, because the keto diet does just this. Okay, it actually, by cutting out an entire macronutrient category, you will lose a significant amount of weight. But before you go running off going, oh my God, I need to find out what a keto diet is, I'm on the wrong platform, listen to me now. It is extremely dangerous. It is not recommended by, it is only recommended by doctors who are trying to solve and fix epilepsy and symptoms of. Okay, so it is actually utilized for people to reduce seizures. However, the reason why it's not so good for people just doing it for weight loss is because you literally need fat, healthy fats, to survive and thrive. Okay, so they're only recommending this in a particular set of people. As a day-to-day, as a lifestyle, it is not healthy in the long run. Okay, so just increasing your fat intake, I said fats, I meant carbohydrates. Increasing your fat intake is significantly increasing your calorie intake. So overall, your caloric intake goes up, probably because we're increasing to carbohydrates and not really thinking about having whole carbohydrates. Oh my God, I'm saying the wrong fucking thing. Because we're increasing our fats and going to whole healthy fats, we are still increasing the overall caloric intake, right? But we're reducing carbohydrates. But what's the brain's main source and choice of fuel? Carbohydrates. So over a while, you're going to start going foggy. You're going to start forgetting things. You're going to start basically cognitive decline. You're going to lose weight as well, because for every gram of carbohydrate the body has and holds, it stores about 1 gram of water. So for every pound that you're losing, you're probably losing about another pound of water. So put it that way, you're going to significantly dehydrate yourself. Your body is going to completely disappear, and it's not in a healthy way. Okay, so if you're thinking about keto, please, 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 for the love of God, do not do it. It is just as bad as just calorie restriction. Okay, it is not good. It is not good. Now, here are the secrets that I'm going to give you. Yeah, these things are what you've probably been told is going to help, but are actually hindering you. So diet soda. These keep you craving sweet foods and drinks, okay? Because it's increasing the release of insulin, because it has the same triggering effect when it hits the mouth. You think that you're getting something sweet. So the release of insulin is still the same. It also destroys the good gut bacteria that you have, which ends up leading to plateaus, bloating, difficulty digestion, and even weight gain. Okay, so diet sodas, although they are not directly linked to weight gain, though it's not like the calorie intake is making you fat, or that there's an ingredient in there that is literally making you fat, though that is not technically happening, it is kind of like a knock-on effect. Okay, so if you had a diet soda versus like a Diet Coke versus a regular Coke, there is literally not much difference in the short-term effect, but in the long-term effect, they are both just as bad as each other. And it's obviously the long-term effect that we need to be looking at here. If we start looking at short-term effects and looking for those short, quick pleasures, that is when we get into the terrible realms of cravings and binge eating and stuff. So we're looking for that long-term goal. Fat burner supplements. Oh my God, do not fucking bother. They don't help with emotional eating. First and foremost, fat burners are not going to address the emotional eating by shifting the underlying reasons of why you're storing excess fat in the first place. So just putting it out there, fat burners are not actually going to keep fat off. They might help shift it off a little bit quicker, but they're not going to keep it off, because the underlying reasons of why you're eating that crap is still there. It has not been addressed, right? And this is a very expensive payoff for very minimal results. All fat burners usually do is increase the temperature of your body, probably make your heart rate go faster. Okay, so if you think about having like a coffee, that has the same effect as a fat burner. It is going to increase your metabolism because of the caffeine, and it is going to increase your core temperature. Okay, has a thermogenic effect, which ultimately does burn calories a little bit faster, but not to a significant amount. Either pointless or just have a freaking coffee. Okay. Now, there's a product out there. There's a product, and I won't name names because I'm not here to name and shame, especially when I'm not in like the best of places right now, because I would be name and shame myself. But there is a product out there, and it's called Fat Burner Tea, right? And that literally just increases the thermogenic effect of exercise. So it has the same effect as a coffee. Be careful when you're buying these things. If it sounds too good to be true, or if you don't see every single person, most people doing it or using it, then question why. Okay, maybe it's just expensive. Less than 7 hours sleep. Have you heard of, oh, I'm so productive on 5 hours sleep? Or, oh, you have to always be grinding your whole life. You need to work hard. You need to put in the hours. Yeah, you need to put in the hours. Yeah, you need to grind hard for a lot of things. However, if you're getting less than 7 hours sleep, you are going to crash like a motherfucker. You're going to crave like a bitch. And it is going to be so difficult for you to lead a healthy lifestyle, a happy lifestyle, an energetic lifestyle with less than 7 to 8 hours sleep a day. 7 hours is minimum, guys. When you see people who are saying, oh my God, I thrive off of 5 or 6 hours, I guarantee you for many, many years, they haven't had consistent 8 hours sleep. So they don't actually know what a decent, well-rested human being they could feel like if they were. So if you're one of these who's very guilty of trying to thrive off of 5 to 6 hours of sleep or even less, let me tell you, girl, you're digging yourself an early grave. Okay, just be very careful. Having a sleep deprivation is actually one of the reasons that you can get heart disease and stroke. So be very careful. Social media addiction. So although social media is keeping you stuck on your phone, use this app, use that app, find this influencer, watch that influencer, it is just another emotional and mental energy black hole. It again is going to affect your emotional state, and so many women are going to compare their bodies, their workouts, their weight loss routines to others. But you are so unique. You probably don't even realize it. So stop wasting your time wanting to be like the others and be like your own self. Sitting down on social media is one, not increasing your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So it's basically making you sit still for longer, right? So it's reducing the amount of activity that you could be doing. It's increasing the stress response because you're always most likely you're always creating a stress response by the constant never-ending feed. Comparing yourself, finding new things, it's all encouraging the stress response. And when we're stressed, we store weight. Okay. Only treadmilling. Have you heard of people, or do you always use the treadmill, or always just go for a run or a walk? Cardio is great for your heart. It's great for strength training. I get that. Not strength training, cardio. Cardio is great for your heart. I get that. But strength training, i.e. weight resistance, is incredible for fat loss and muscle bone strength, right? Lift weights, push and pull with resistance, and complement your body with cardio. Just running on the treadmill for hours and hours and hours. And while I'm here, hardcore HIIT workouts. If you're constantly doing hardcore HIIT workouts like CrossFit or HIIT classes every single day or most days of the week, again, you're activating the stress response. Your body is going to store the excess weight, the excess fat. It's not going to lose it. So be extremely mindful. Swap out your heavy cardio sessions for some weightlifting sessions. It doesn't put as much pressure on the body, on the nervous system, that these high intensity workouts do. So mix up your training. Just having running is not going to be good enough. Okay. 2 more left. The last one is probably, you're not going to be shocked at it, but I think you're going to be like, fuck. So cheat or treat meals. Okay. You're not a dog. You're not a dog. So allowing food to be a treat or even a cheat really removes the fact that food is fuel, not a reward or punishment system. That system does not work for most people, especially those holding excess fat. Food is fuel, not a cheat nor a treat. Okay, be extremely mindful, because when we do cheat meals, we often overeat. And it also stores onto fat very, very quickly, especially if you've been fasting or not eating much. Your body's going to store onto that fat. So just be really mindful. Again, cheat meals are going to be high in sodium, high in salt, which is salt, sugar, and fat. So, oh, excuse me. I can't believe I just yawned. I just yawned on a live. I'm really sick and poorly. Did I mention that? Okay, so treat meals out the fucking window. You're not gonna wait until this one big cheat day. You're gonna enjoy the food that you enjoy in a healthy way. If you want a burger, why not have a burger once in a while? But don't hone in and don't guilt yourself in or trick your mind into thinking that it's a cheat and you can only have it once. Okay? Be mindful, be cautious, be careful. Whatever you say, your brain will store onto that. Lastly, diet, pills, and sprays. Now, I recently, or not recently, but a little while ago, was approached by someone who said, oh my God, I'm promoting these products. You put a spray under your tongue and it helps you lose weight. And I was like, do you know who you're promoting to? I didn't say that. I was trying not to be an asshole. I say trying. It was very difficult. I was trying not to be an asshole. And I was just like, I think you should choose your target market wisely. But people are going to succumb to this. People are going to believe this, right? Another way to blame dieting and diet fads for a lack of results is by not actually fixing the underlying problem. This spray, it might increase your energy by giving you nutrients. It might increase your the thermogenic effect, or it might have a thermogenic effect on your body. Jesus words. On your body, which increases your heart rate. You know, you're burning a little bit more calories because you're hotter. It might have these effects, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's actually going to help you lose weight, enough fat, when you could be changing your lifestyle instead of buying a product and relying on the product. And when you're buying the product, you're just butting heads, right? It's trying to do its job, but then you've not changed anything with your lifestyle. So literally nothing's going to go anywhere. Whereas if you change your lifestyle, you're changing those negative habits, right? And you're pushing them out. All those poor habits, the habits that are actually increasing your weight. With the healthy lifestyle, you're not just butting heads with things that are trying to negate that. Yeah, you're really, really trying to push out the negative crap by improving your overall lifestyle, improving your habits, making better choices. These are much better ways at losing weight sustainably than just buying pills, telling yourself that you're going to have a cheat meal, then just treadmilling, okay, as your exercise, then being addicted to social media and not moving your body, not looking up, not taking in the world, not socializing, right? Improving your sleep is going to have a huge effect on your diet, and not just trying to grind away and thrive off of 5 hours sleep because it's what other people say that you should be doing to be successful. You don't need these supplements. You don't need diet sodas. Sparkling water, anything will do apart from these um, artificial drinks that are just negating everything that you're doing. Again, it's not changing what's in here, and that's going to be the biggest impact that you can do, right? Make sure that you're having an adequate macronutrient distribution. If you don't know how to get that, please message below. Make sure you're drinking enough water. Make sure you're timing your meals as consistently as you can, but don't forget you do need to listen to your hunger and fullness cues, guys. Yeah. Not overeating, and yeah, getting balance, getting variety. Let me know if you are guilty of any of these. Have you bought any of these? Have you used any of these? Or have you thought about any of these before for dieting? And let me know if none of these apply to you and you're still struggling to lose weight, because I'd love to hear. All right then, folks. Thank you for putting up with my snotty ass face, my snotty ass nose, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.